On this episode, we add more fuel capacity, an onboard power source, and we make the truck just a little bit prettier.
And like all these videos, thanks to CRC for making this possible. Without you guys, we'd probably be just getting junkyard parts and barely getting by. So thank you. Let's get to work. It's time to start working on this second air filter over here. We got this piece. And that's going to go under the hood. Then we've got to cut the hood to have this shape. First, I want to get my holes drilled for this. It looks like we finally get to take these sheetrock screws out. Nice. I've just ordered this new rubber and all the appropriate rivets that go in it. So that'll be in pretty soon. As for right now, it looks like I need to drill that bottom one out. Emily's outside the shop cleaning. We've got a bunch of stuff stacked up in front over here. So she's out there cleaning stuff up. So this body line where this new piece is going to end appears to be a tad bit higher than the hood. This main seam on the hood. So let me mark up the hood a little bit, just so I know where the bottom of the cab is. That way when I set this piece in here, I know where to run it. That poor old hood's mangled, but the cool thing is we're cutting most of it out. We'll probably end up making a pattern out of that other side, making it match the other side. But already I can see it's pretty much going to come down this body line here and swoop. Kind of like that. So all this mangled area, that's all getting cut out. You can kind of see like that. I'm gonna have to run to the hardware store and get some bolts, but I'm excited to get one in just to see what it's gonna be like. And I assume that rubber goes over the top of it. That would make sense. Sweet. Getting there. We get that real pretty decorative piece that goes in between here. Kind of holds this hood together. And all these little rivets that need to be drilled out. It looks to me like they just took the chop saw and chopped them off. I'm going to see if I can start getting those drilled out. See how hard it's going to be. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Some of these I may have to get a grinder and flatten the top out. We're gonna need Emily's help to put this back on because I've got to have somebody on the inside putting nuts and washers on it. But I can get it started. It's kind of floppy without this centerpiece on here. Okay, I'm gonna jump on the inside, see if I can get those two in. And then that'll be good enough until Emily frees up. Okay.
Oh my god. It's so hot.
So look what I did.
Babe.
I need your help to put all the bolts in.
Oh.
We don't have to do it today.
That looks so awesome.
Looks way better.
I'm so hot and worn out.
There's air conditioner in that room.
This looks sick. I cannot wait to look out the windscreen.
Yeah.
The windshield and see this.
Yeah. Got dirty sitting around, but it's still dresses that foot up a lot.
Oh yeah, it's just as it should be.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm ready to close it down. If you'll push it to me, I'll kind of guide it.
Okay. Heck yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Way
love it.
better. Well, tomorrow we'll get all the bolts in it and do about 10,000 other things.
Yes.
Okay. See you guys in the morning. Well, it's Monday morning. Emily's at the gym, as she usually is. And I am going to try to get this 30 amp RV plug in here. So we're gonna need this to run anything that's in the sleepers. So I'm choosing to put it right here because we already have a hole. Like this little panel's already kind of gacked up because there was something there. I'm assuming that's where you used to plug the block heater in. We're not gonna have a block heater because we don't live in that type of environment, and these trucks are pretty good at starting even when it's cold. So I'm gonna attempt to cut this with a hole saw. I've got my gasket here. It tells me what size this hole is. And my hole saw is just a tiny bit bigger than that, but it's not too big to where it's gonna get into my bolt holes. So the challenge with it is these are meant to like drill a small hole in the middle, and then that centers it. So I'm gonna fight this a little bit, but I think it'll work if I'm just patient. So I totally get it if you're a Peterbilt guy or you run on the road a lot. Emily and I are doing some things that would not be conventional on an over-the-road truck, such as that fuel tank cap being up under the corner. I'm not concerned about it because I mean, my typical trip, that one tank will give me about 750 miles of range, assuming I'm getting 6 miles per gallon. So the amount of times I fill it up is nowhere near you guys that are out on the road every single day. So that's not as big of a concern. This having a plug right here, if I was running this truck, making a living with it, I would not put this here. But we have a different purpose than you guys do. So there's gonna be different stuff that we do. These are real bad about trying to walk, so we'll just try to get it going. I think I'm gonna try to put a board back behind here with some screws in it so I can get that center hole. Here's my idea. If I stick a board in here and screw it, then I should be able to use the center part of that drill bit to center it, and it'll hold my main cutting surface. So it's not trying to walk around on me like that. In theory, this should hold it centered. There it is. Okay. We just use that as our guide. There we go. Still got plenty of meat for our bolts to go through there. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Looks pretty darn good to me. I'm following this hood line down, this row of rivets, just trying to make sure that it's pretty straight. I'm happy with that. Okay, so there it is. Doesn't look too terrible. I like it. So now we pull up to an RV park if we want to cool the truck and run the fridge and the microwave and stuff like that. We just get our cord out, plug it into the RV park, and it's good to go. That's pretty slick. I love this thing so much, I think I'm gonna buy one of these for my boat. Got something exciting here. Been needing this for a long time. Heck yeah, check that out. Cool. That is a monster. That's what I used to use doing heads and stuff like that on trucks. It says it's a 3/4 inch, so we have 3/4 inch sockets. 200 to 1,000 foot-pounds. Something that I know from my experience, this skinny boy is not gonna be torquing anything to 1,000 foot-pounds. I don't have the beans, but it's nice to know it'll get there. One thing I wanna do on the Peterbilt 359 is I wanna do rod main bearings, and those torque really high, so I need a big wrench like this. And thank you guys for pointing out I need to torque those lug nuts. They go to 450 foot-pounds, and this is a tool to do it. So pretty freaking awesome. I want to thank all you guys. You know, I've been in the truck business most of my life, building engines. I've loved trucks, but I never had a practical reason to have one. We finally talked ourselves into getting this Peterbilt, so we can pull the 40-foot trailer because it's a lot cheaper than a new pickup, and we're not wearing it out. You know, that Peterbilt's not even gonna strain with the trailer on. But I've always loved trucks. And so we got the dump truck now, which is really fun. And that's in large part because you guys are watching these videos. If you guys weren't watching it and excited about trucks, it wouldn't be practical for us to spend money on it. So just shout out to you guys. Thanks for thumbs upping, liking, subscribing to the channel. It's really neat that I get to do some of the stuff that's so close to my heart because you guys are watching. It's freaking awesome. I say for the fun of it, let's see how close our 3/4 inch Milwaukee impact got that. I'm gonna find the socket real quick and then we'll go torque those front wheels to see how close we got it. Funny little side note, in the comment section, a lot of times you guys will say, well, what happened to X? Or what happened to this project? Why'd you quit working on it? Why'd you abandon that project? A lot of times we didn't abandon projects, we're just driving them. Today I drove this car to work. So you don't see it on the channel because it's running good and I'm just enjoying driving it. So just interesting to know. Run this up to 450. Okay, there we have it. All right. Well, that one wasn't right. We were close though. That one was torqued. That little 3/4 inch Milwaukee impact's bad sucker. We got most of them torqued. The ones that didn't get torqued is probably just because I let off the trigger too early. Milwaukee is not a sponsor of ours. I just really like that impact. All my growing up years, we used pneumatic stuff because that's all that's available. And it worked good, but the hoses are cumbersome. I love my battery impacts. I'll do the other side, and then on the back, I gotta pull those back apart. Let me get some info real quick. I was reading comments yesterday, and truck driver 326, thank you for the comment about putting a gasket in between the steel wheel and the aluminum wheel. It's very helpful. I've been around trucks my whole life, but many, many years ago, I switched over to doing primarily engines. And so I forget things like that. And if you're gonna comment and critique my work, thank you so much, but please provide information so that I can learn and the audience can learn as well. So he said, there's an AMI International part number 6102, and I got on Amazon and found those, and in fact it is a 10-hole gasket that allows you to put dissimilar metals like steel and aluminum together. So I got those ordered, we're gonna put those on the back. I've also got a couple studs to replace, so we're not gonna torque those right now, but in the future that's gonna happen. So thanks so much for the comments, and if I've got a chance to read them and then I can relay that information to other people, we all learn and it's amazing. We appreciate you guys. So I say it's time, let's open this hood up and see if we can make a template of this side of the hood. Where's it at? Right there. To see if we can cut out that driver's side so we can start putting our filter on. I'm trying to find me a good body line here. And this is a good defined line right here. So that'll be where the template starts. If we cut this out of that side, it should be uniform and the same. I think we have a template. We should be able to just take this off and put it on that side. We'll have our place to cut. And that's not stressful at all, of course. Setting up a 359 hood, yeah.
Oh my God. But at least we get to cut off this chewed up part.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
This was my first morning to do my workout, get ready, and come to this shop instead of our home shop. Felt super weird, but awesome. And I love that Aaron's, using the morning energy that he has to check stuff off the list and already here working. So it's just good stuff. Lots to be thankful for. Aaron just cranked Bella up. We're gonna take her to our home shop to grab some tools to cut that. So it's a pretty day out there, so we're gonna top down drive.
I raised the suspension on this car this morning a little bit and it's a lot better now. It's not
it low, but it just got too low.
Yep.
As we were driving it. It's good though.
Oh, I didn't raise the front. We'll get to that later.
Right as we said that. That's funny. You know what? We are fixed up. We got the air breather. We got our little mini fridge. And down here we have our microwave that's going in the Peterbilt because RV.
Yeah, who needs a pickup? Not us.
Nah, we're good.
Arch runner's back.
Yay! Our shop doesn't have insulation or AC, so it's nice to have a breeze through here. Look, Aaron.
Oh,
The breeze.
I'm blowing too.
This is good.
Let's get to work.
Let's get to work. Quit talking, woman. Less words, more work.
Sweet. We'll get a little file, clean that edge up, but I think it looks pretty good.
Looks beautiful, Aaron. Oh my gosh. Heck yes. Heck
I
yeah.
like it.
Oh, it's gonna be so cool to see the hood. Whew.
Yeah.
Swooping with this.
You're about to.
You want me to help you? Oh.
Sitting on that side.
Oh my. Dang, that looks nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so does this, what happens there?
I don't know. Nothing. That's how it is over here too.
Oh, weird. I've never even noticed it.
Yep.
So maybe we put some kind of like little trim piece there or something, or just leave it.
Yeah, we'll do something. There is going to be a boot here covering it.
Oh, that's true. You kind of
We
don't.
can always dress her up later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm taking note of where these bolt holes are. I carried this curve on around, so I've got a little bit of aluminum left here.
Mm-hmm.
So we could go ahead and cut that up. But overall, I think we're doing pretty good. The only difference is they just kind of went sharp up here.
Mm-hmm.
But not necessary.
This looks better.
And those bolt holes look about the same distance.
Yes.
I can see that maybe I didn't follow this around quite as much, but all in all, I'm pretty happy with it.
It looks really nice.
I mean, it looks great. So we need this piece. We have to put the boot on it, but we don't have the boot anyways. We got to go get bolts. But the big job now is getting the brackets for this. So let me grab one. So these little brackets are not cheap. You're limited to one company that I could find, and I don't remember their name. They were on eBay, or getting good used factory ones, which is hard to find because I'll say not a ton, but it's more common to find 359s with one air filter on the passenger side. They weren't as common on the driver's side. So
You know that big red truck in your dad's field has two.
It does. But I got to buy a whole truck to get this bracket. And
No, I was just saying like that truck's cool because it's got two, so we should, you know. We have not made a deal on that truck, by the way. We saw, like, there was not a single one of you that said you don't need two Peterbilts, by the way. There was no voices of reason in that comment section when we saw that red truck.
I appreciate it.
Everybody said we needed it. And I love that truck. One different thing about this shop is there's a busy road right here. So the background noise, we get to judge people's exhaust systems. Y'all can just think about it like that. Like when you hear a loud vehicle go by, be like, give that a 6. Might hear a flow master here and there. Get up and get the better exhausted.
Yeah.
You're such a boss.
Thank you. Thinking instead of drilling a bunch of holes for those rivets, we'll just space these a tiny bit.
Yes, perfect.
Let me get some rib nuts.
Do we have the rib nut down here?
No, but Stuart does. I'm gonna borrow some.
Great. We were just at the shop and we were like, what all do we need? We tried to remember everything and then we like, crap. But Stuart does have a lot of tools in this shop. So, thank you, Stuart.
8, 16.
Cool to see it from that side. Sticking the rest of the hardware in this piece. Dropping the hardware. Found it. Went over to the other side of the truck, of course. Where else would it go?
You just had 4 aluminum rivets, and you could tell that they were different. These are all steel rivets, but those particular ones are aluminum, and it's because they meant for an airbox to go there. Somebody just got lazy on that day at the factory and forgot to put one on, I guess. But we're fixing that.
Ooh, that is looking nice.
Yeah, I got some tasty new bolts in there. Stainless steel, bought a bag, little bitty bag, and I think they cost more than the car we drove up there. Which was the Miata.
Don't be talking about Bella like that. She's a little bit more costly than stainless hardware.
I'm not talking down, I'm just talking about the price of stainless.
Oh my gosh. Oh my.
Scared to touch it. Cool. See about this thing.
That's greatness. We wouldn't be having to drill these holes if we had Peterbilt breathers, but these breathers are off of a Western Star, and we really like them. We like the size of them. We like the way that they're fully polished. We just like them. So we're customizing our little bracket to be able to adapt to those. Oh man, that looks nice. Dang. Oh. With the elbows in there.
Yep.
Shoo-wee.
And I also have the piece that bolts in here where the boot connects to, so. I wanted to see 2 air cleaners on it since we got it. Blew a hydraulic hose. That seat's clean because I was sitting there. It sprayed me instead of the seat. I was trying to load up our generator. And the hose blew, it dropped the bucket on the generator. So I got to deal with this now.
This isn't sweat, this is hydraulic fluid all over him. He had to replace this here hose. I just got back from the title office. Well, the kid and I did. We were at the title office doing a bunch of title transfers because of all the junk we buy. And Aaron was working on this.
Yeah, it was an adventure. We got it loaded up, but yeah, I had that thing picked all the way to the sky, and that hose blew all in my face. Had to go have a new hose made, fill it back up with hydraulic fluid, restart the tractor, which has a dead battery, but we got it. Yay, just another day in big kid life. Here's what we're working with. Got a Deutz, I don't know what that says, 151D5714. It's a neat little generator, 2-cylinder diesel. I've never fired it up. I bought it from my dad. It's pretty cheap. Gave him $500 for it. 6 kilowatt at 3,600 RPM. One phase. Oh, look, it's got little Bosch injectors. Yeah, I think now that it's over here, we fire it up, see if it runs, and see if we can figure out this mess over here. I have no clue how to wire up a generator. That looks like a mess. But we'll figure it out. I bet you I need a new capacitor. That looks pretty gnarly. I'm not sure if you've ever priced diesel generators, but boy, they're expensive. So $500 if I can make it work, and it can run, you know, if it will only run the air conditioner for the bedroom, that's better than nothing. Let's see if we can just isolate some things so it's not so scary looking. That's obviously the supply coming from the generator. There's a dude hauling rock in a skid steer that keeps going up and down the road. Doesn't he know we're trying to shoot videos in here? Just joking, nobody cares. I'm gonna take a guess and say that's our positive for the battery. Track it over here, sure enough, it goes to the top of the starter. If I were a betting man, you know, just because of the way it looks, that's probably the on switch for the little engine, and that's probably the start button. I mean, who knows, but sure seems like it. None of this in here looks like it's been unhooked. Obviously got those crazy connectors on it. You can fix all that eventually. That's all still hooked up to this point. This is gonna be our supply wires. This will go to probably a 30 amp plug, so we can plug the trailer into it. If this is set up for a 50 amp plug, that would make sense because you have 2 poles of 110, I guess you call it. Because a 50 amp plug, even on an RV, that's still 110. It's one leg. Okay, so I'll assume that this goes to the controller, so you can remote start it. It says gen run. That's generator power, so that's probably 12 volts. And then one of these is going to be a start button. But yeah, we'll untape this, make sure they're safe, and then we'll get a battery going. Okay, we got these big wires capped off. Those are the ones that could knock the crud out of us, I think, so we're safe there. I'll try to round up the battery, see what we got. That dude needs a dump truck. He's getting annoying driving back and forth. Use these jumper cables as our ground. Okay, it should be powered up. We got it turned on. Let's see if we can just talk this starter into doing something this way. Well, it turns. Oh, diesel's got some compression. Sounds kind of rough.
Kind of got a little kick to it.
Let's get some fuel.
Every rotation, it just like.
Yeah, I think it's just this high compression diesel.
Okay, we got fresh diesel for it. Nice. Put some rags under there maybe? Can we find a hose clamp?
Look all morning.
Okay.
Hold your hand like on the side of this.
Oh yeah, it's clicking. I'm sorry. It's really hot. I held my hand on it. It was clicking. Joker's hot.
Yeah.
Is that like a solenoid of some sort?
Yeah.
It clicked. It's not now.
Yeah, it's weird. Okay.
Really hot.
I don't know why it's hot. That 12 volts going to do it. That's what it requires. So I'm going to spin it. See if we get any diesel over here. We're turning fuel here.
Oh, let me
We do need
Yeah.
some kind of clamp.
The kid has beautiful nails.
I do indeed. I did them myself. I did not pay for them to be done. I'm not like that. The girls are like, oh, what are your
$60 manicure.
112.
You don't break a nail.
I don't care. These are also my natural nails.
It's your first time wrenching in the big shop.
Yeah. Alright, there we go.
Good job.
Thank you.
Oh, I heard it click.
We have fuel coming into the lift pump, out of the lift pump, into this little guy, out of this, and it goes to a T right there where it's bolted to these little injector pumps or whatever you want to call these things. Injectors, and I think they're injector pumps. And then the return is up here. We've also got a return going to the injector itself. So I suppose it could be bypassing before it's actually building enough pressure here. Now we got fuel. She just needed a little encouragement. Well, it's a new day. Because there's no fuel coming out of these two, I'm left to assume that this fuel solenoid's not working. We know that from yesterday it was clicking some and not clicking, so there may be something inside here that's messed up. I also think there's some kind of rack that opens a valve on these two that this is supposed to be pushing or pulling against. So I'm gonna do my best to get that out of there and just see what we're working with. These little boogers are expensive. I looked them up last night. I couldn't find the exact one because I didn't have the part number on it, but they are pricey. So we're gonna see what we can find. We had a big storm here last night, and as the thunder was rolling, all I could think about is I don't have to go to work tomorrow and worry about walking through the water and the mud. All my stuff's dry. Tools are dry. It's a pretty good feeling. Seems to be moving freely. And nothing.
Oh, hi.
Oh, look who showed up to work.
You're just ready for me like that?
Okay. I was recording other stuff.
Oh. You weren't just standing there waiting for me to pull in?
No.
I'm here.
Okay, so this is a little arm, and when you energize this, I assume it powers it this way, because I've got this little, we call it a rack on like an old Detroit or something. I don't know what it is, but it's a slide and opens the valve for the injector pumps. This was frozen up. I sat here and played with it and got it free. So I think that's the off position. That would be the run position. But I don't know. We're gonna try it both ways. I'm gonna spin the engine over with it both ways and see if we can get any fuel up here.
Well, that's hopeful knowing that that was seized up.
Yeah, it was definitely stuck.
That's awesome.
So we'll find out in a minute which way it needs to go. And then we're gonna have to order a solenoid. I can't find them anywhere but European countries. So we may be waiting on it a while, but if we can get fuel up here, then hear it run, then test the generator portion, we're like, no big hurry for the part to come in. So I'm thinking that is and shut off, so we should be able to turn it now. So my theory is we should get no fuel in this position. I think my theory was wrong because she just got sprayed in the face with fuel. My little starter button is...
At least it definitely came out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was left in there from the last time.
There was nothing in there last time.
But okay. Yeah, that was exciting.
We were getting fuel, so I was opposite. It's spring loaded to the run position, so to kill it, I'm gonna have to pull it back here. But we have fuel now.
Hey.
So,
Heck yeah. Good job, babe. You're the diagnostics master.
I'm pretty good at it.
You are.
I'm not good at taking compliments, but I can't deny that one.
What an interesting little wibber wobber.
Yeah, I mean, injection pumps, a lot of them have a shut-off valve just like this, and that would be pretty normal for a little shaft to be in there and be frozen up. Even the Peterbilt's got something similar. Clear? Go. Let's try it again.
Dude, that thing has some little RPM to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, that was it. Need a fuel solenoid.
Dang.
Runs good, sounds good. See if I can find a circuit tester to see if it's producing actual electric power.
Rad.
I was standing right in front of the exhaust. My eyes started burning. I was like, whoa. Yeah, we got power. So, I believe it was a red one and the black one for power. Obviously, I need a multimeter to tell how much juice it's putting out, but we have house power right here. So, I'm going to say that's good enough to continue with the process of mounting it while we wait on that solenoid to come in. Because diesel generators, used ones are $2,000-3,000, and I've already got this one, so I want to make it work. Go.
I'm standing atop the engine, and Aaron is getting ready to install the little piece that goes between the elbow and the breather of the air intake that we installed this week. It's gonna look so good. I was climbed up on the engine getting the tripod set up for this shot to be able to install this aluminum piece and all the new hardware that Force Stake sent us to do that install. So we are excited about that. And the fact, yes,
It's raining.
it's
And
pouring.
I'm not getting wet.
It's pouring down rain outside, and we're working on the truck. Progress is not hindered by the weather now. That is exciting. Man, those look awesome. Wow. Heck yeah.
Hood jut's better too. Amazing when it's all one piece.
That looks so good. Sheesh. Delivery. I didn't go far like this.
A Miata pickup truck.
I'm excited about this.
Oh.
It's the Jenny box.
Yeah. Man, that doesn't weigh anything.
Man, that thing is super gorgeous.
Yeah. get it on out of the way.
Dude.
Nice, it's got little vents in it.
Yep.
Sick.
Heck yeah. This is gonna look so good next to the little fuel tank.
Yeah.
Do you like it, Finley?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
So we'll be removing the hinges, the style hinge.
Yeah, we're gonna go look at it and see. I think because of this style, obviously, if that's up on the cab, it's not gonna work. So my thought was drill out these pop rivets they've got on the hinge, and then put straps on it like you normally see on a Peterbilt over
Right.
on the battery box.
Right. Never realized how much closer we are to the church bells here.
We are closer.
We're
Yeah.
closer to the Presbyterian church that has church bells. We can hear them from our shop, which is only like 4 blocks away.
But here, if they annoy me, I can throw a rock at them and hit them.
The church bells would never annoy Aaron. They're sweet. I don't think we can see the steeple from here, but it's so sweet.
Probably a good time to check and see if they'll fit in there. Door opening's 31. The machine is 30 up to the air filter.
Okay.
29 and then, what is that, a quarter tall? See how tall this
29?
is. 19, I was reading it wrong. 19 and a quarter. Yeah, even
Heck yeah.
below that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I just visually, I can tell you've got plenty of room here.
Yeah, the depth.
Yep. That'll work. So we can put those things on like I was thinking, or we can put like race car hood pins back here. Mm-hmm. Where you just set the top up on there, put your little pin in it,
Yeah.
and then latch it down
That
there.
could be cool too.
Do we want the generator here and the fuel tank there, or do we want generator there and the fuel tank here? I kind of figured the fuel tank was going to be up against the stack.
Yeah, I was figuring fuel tank closer to the
Yeah.
cab. I don't know why, but
I don't remember the measurements on my fuel tank. We should go get it at some point. Let's say we move some stuff and slide it over here.
let's do it. Okay, we just did some measuring and it looks like this little mark right here will be the edge of our generator box. First we were looking here, but we decided right here because we're going to scooch the little tank a little closer to the exhaust to make it look really clean.
So this box, I don't have a floor jack here at the shop. It needs to come up 15 inches. You know what's 15 inches? 5-gallon buckets. So we're gonna set it on there and see if we can get close to the frame.
I wish it was one of those ones that hinged out like that. Like hinged out.
Yeah, like right here?
Yeah.
That would have been excellent, but I couldn't find any like that. It's surprisingly hard to find the generator box.
Looks pretty though.
Yeah. Oh, it's not show truck stuff, but this is not a show truck. This is a working truck.
Utility and function.
Yeah. And of course, it's not going to be sucked in that far either because those brackets go behind it.
Now it's a clean slate.
Yeah, we'll set it back up there and see how the Hood goes back on.
Getting it on and off isn't too bad.
No, that wasn't bad at all. I don't mind that. It's gonna be perfect. Yep. Do what you gotta do. Heading to Dallas and the tire shop's closed, so had to come buy a whole rig. You remember, we blew that one out. We went to get the dump truck. I gotta run up to Dallas. I'm going to Elite Truck Accessories. That's a sister company of Four State. So what happens is we get our stuff from Four State and then they'll send it down to Elite and I can go pick it up. Saves on a lot of shipping. They've got trucks that run down there weekly. So I'm gonna go do that. We got some really cool stuff for the interior coming in and just a bunch of other little bits that we need for the truck. Emily's at home editing, which she's often doing toward the end of the week, trying to pump you guys an episode out. So I'm solo today, but I'm gonna go get some cool stuff.
It is a lovely day to sit at home and edit. That is what I'm doing. Progress in all different ways, not just in the shop. Erin's out in Dallas, running around picking up big truck parts, and we're both doing everything we can, just doing what it takes to get it done.
I'll give you guys a special thanks, shout out for liking, subscribing, commenting, doing all the cool stuff. Most of my life, most of Emily and I's lives, a spare tire would have been a luxury item for a trailer. We're so broke, but with you guys watching the videos and loving us so much and supporting us, now I can just pop in, give me a spare tire, get back on the road, and I don't have the stress of blowing another one and being stranded. So thank you guys so much. We love you. Just leaving Elite, right over there. Where, right there. Got some really cool stuff. We have some fenders for the back of the Peterbilt. Nice chrome, like half circle fenders that go on it. Really stoked about those. Being that we're not gonna have a conventional trailer with the fifth wheel, our tires are not gonna be covered. So anytime we pick up rocks or things like that, it's just gonna beat the snot out of the back of our cab and the front of our trailer. So we're putting fenders on it. And we have some other things in those two big boxes right there that I am jacked about. But you have to wait for the next episode for that because there's a whole bunch of good stuff that includes those. Man, life is so much easier with a shop and a forklift. Yeah, I would have been trying to get that stuff off, get somebody here to help, drag it across the dirt. Now we got some real sweet parts. I'm stoked. I think what I'm going to do is pick up my generator, get it on the forklift, bring my box over here, set it on the table, and then start trying to rig that stuff out. So I can see, you know, exactly where the generator is going to be in the box and just kind of where I need reinforcement and stuff like that. So I'll set you guys up on the tripod and we'll see if we can make that happen. made for that. We've got plenty of room in the front here. Plenty of room in the back. Might actually slide this forward some because that's going to be your fan there that cools it. So I think, I don't know. I wonder if it makes a difference the closer to that vent. But shoot, man, that's in there. I was lucky it came with the actual engine mounts here. Even though those look shot, I can replace those. It's just nice to have the brackets. Cool. I'm gonna start shifting this thing around and see what I can come up with. I'm digging this. Looks really good. The exhaust is kind of close there, so we'll move it this way some. I've got a new exhaust kit that we actually can put a hole in here to exhaust it to the outside. I think this control box will build a bracket, secure it real nicely there. I will end up replacing the starter button because it was intermittent and the on-off switch. So far, I think it's all gonna work just fine.
This persistent genius of a man is back at it. He got a new solenoid for the generator. That one that was acting a fool that bolts right there. And he did not order one of the super expensive ones. He got
the $400 one. Yeah.
He got the $400 one instead of the what?
Nice.
It was like
$700 for the factory.
Crazy.
So what I'm struggling with is, to me, that looks like a ground wire. Right? I mean, everything says ground. It's blue, red, you would think hot wire. And I go over here to my wiring harness. I got a blue and a red. The blue on my harness is doing nothing. The red is supplied 12 volts currently with the switch in the on position. I can't get the solenoid to do anything in that configuration. But if I ground the case and touch the blue, it works perfectly. Okay, that's the case grounded and the blue wire. Case grounded, red, nothing. What I would assume the blue one to be ground and red, nothing. Case and blue wire, red, nothing. So I can make it work, but it just doesn't seem right because I'm making it work through grounding the case and running the blue wire to 12 volt. Now, is this a wire that just reads back to the system because it's got a smart controller on it or something? I don't know, but why would they put this style terminal on what is supposed to be your 12 volt power supply going to it? I don't know. My concern, obviously, these things are so expensive. Even though I can make it work, am I going to burn it up? So, research. Pause. I'll go get smarter and then come back and mess with this later.
You did this all by yourself last time. This colleague is here. Have fun. It looks so pretty.
Yeah. Yep. We gotta move this and then modify these brackets a little bit, and we can get it up in the air. We'll get a jack under it. Marker holes. If we're lucky, we can use some of those. It looks pretty close to lining up with those.
Nice.
Cool. We'll work on that in a bit. We're not at the shop anymore. I had an appointment to go get my medical for my CDL, and I passed. I'm healthy. It's excellent.
We knew this.
Yeah, we got to run to Dallas and get those bushings for the S-cams, and we will see you guys back in the shop.
Going to get parts.
It's half of what we do.
And then the inside of the frame itself, that's what's super duper greasy. Are we?
We're not worrying about
We're
that.
just doing, because the grease is kind of preserving it.
At some point, we're going to put a clutch in this truck and
Yeah.
the transmission, and that's the time to go through those frame rails and really make things pretty.
Okay, I have placed some cardboard here to protect our exhaust from overspray. And I think it's time to see some black. Tack coat done. It's time for me to get things here up and looking at where we're gonna drill holes. So, because the frame looks good. Should have painted those two areas where that step came off of. I need to do that. So there's this little shock that was on this tank mount bracket thing, and that has to come off so that I can hold this up to the frame rail and see where it all needs to be mounted. So trying to get that off now. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a wedge, kind of like an alternator's got on it. So you just put your bolt back in there, hammer
I
it.
saw that little flare thing right here, and I was like, how do I
Yeah,
get
so when
that
it
out?
tightens, it pinches it.
Nifty.
It's for those new air ride cabs. You don't know anything about that line.
Nope. Too snazzy for us. Okay. Now we got clean brackets. Okay, that works. Okay, I'm probably gonna regret this because it's gonna make a mess, but I'm going for it. I'm gonna take these lines off. I don't want to see this thing dangling here. I don't want it to be in my way when I'm trying to fit the tank, and it's got to go anyway, so I don't want to put another thing on Aaron's list. Anyway, he's got so much on there already, so well, let's do it. And this thing's dangling now, which is not ideal. Goofy. You. Nice. Stuff you up there somewhere, sir. Excuse me. Hey, bud. Okay. This thing's out of here. Nasty. Pretty amazing if we can reuse those holes.
Yeah. That bolted in.
Wow.
I think that's where it needs to be, right there. So from out here, if it looks visually halfway decent, I say we mark our holes. There you go.
Thank you.
It looks good with something in here.
It really does. I have 4 holes to drill on the frame. He is finishing up the brakes. We're making progress, so we'll check in with y'all in a minute. These reamer bits are stellar. They're so cool. There we go. Oh, 2 more. This man, he's just the bomb.
It's tight.
Did you just kick our beautiful tank with your steel toes?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because I can.
Okay, well, you definitely showed it who's boss.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes. Down she goes.
Wonder how many hours my generator's gonna run on that tank. 10 years?
10 years. A lot. That's awesome. Well, today was an excellent success. Lots of stuff done, brake parts on, and the little tank mounted. Tomorrow we will mess with the generator box and keep the progress going. See y'all then.
Good morning. As you can see, it's another rainy day in Texas, and we're not getting wet. I had my CDL scheduled this morning, the written portion of it. I got in the truck, cranked it up, and I got a text message that says, internet's out, gotta reschedule. Fingers crossed they can get me in quick, because last time it was a 2-week wait period. And we're coming up pretty close on needing this truck, so I gotta be able to drive it. So that's a little bit stressful today, but the good news is, I get to work on the truck because the truck's not ready either. So it's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna eat some breakfast. Emily's at the gym. Then we'll get started on this thing.
As I have alluded to throughout this video, we did a whole bunch of work from the sleeper back this week, but we had enough footage to break it into 2 episodes. So we've got this episode with the sleeper forward, and then the next week's episode will be from the sleeper back, which will include the airbags, all the brake lines, replacing brake components. Look forward to that on the next episode. It's time for me to roll in from the gym so I can get back to work on that generator install. Aaron stood out in the rain to get this shot, you guys. This building has legitimately paid for itself tenfold with all this rain we've been getting, because we would absolutely not have had all of these episodes working on Optimus Grime and getting progress. And we need to leave for Iola, Wisconsin for the Iola Car Show at the beginning of July, which is like 3 weeks away. We had to be getting this progress done. We are so thankful for this building. This thing will have a generator underneath that sleeper before we know it. I just used the level on my phone to be sure all 3 of these brackets were level, and one by one they all leveled out. They are bolted up, and then we'll have bottom bolts once the generator's over here, but heck yes.
It's a tornado outside.
Alrighty, the Miata is in a new spot because I've cleared out where the Miata was to get the forklift out. I moved these mystery boxes, Finley and I did, to a better place because we're gonna pull the truck forward so that we can get the generator placed. And the forklift is gonna be a wonderful tool to get that done.
All right, Grime, time to shine. Lear prop. It may just be that arm needs to move. You know, because there's not. Oh, you got it.
It's beautiful.
Yep. And then we can drill up from the bottom to get those.
Really secure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Want to go get the lid?
It's gonna clear. And I got thingies for the top. Thinking this may work better than bungees or like
Aaron,
race
this
car
looks
hood thingies.
cool. Oh, like hood pins.
Yeah. So if anyone set it down.
That's pretty
pop
trick. Yeah. I feel like we need a piece of metal that goes across the face.
Yeah.
That looks weird. It looks unfinished. Or just a piece of aluminum, maybe.
You can also cut those back at an angle. But yeah, we
Something.
can do whatever we want.
Something with that. But dude,
But that side of the truck looks good.
it looks sick. Wow, you guys, this truck is coming together and you might be getting a little sneak peek of what's to come. We did so much work on this truck this week that we could not fit it all in one episode. So we got 2 episodes out of this week, which is primo. All thanks to this building.
Right. You know, it's been raining all week long. We were still able to get a bunch of work done, which is super exciting because we need to get a lot of work done. This thing's about time to roll.
Yeah, guys, we are leaving for the Iowa Car Show the first week of July, and we cannot wait to see a bunch of you there. This truck will be on display there, which is wild to us. We are so excited to see this thing on the highway. I know you guys are as well, and we have CRC to thank for these uploads. You guys, CRC has helped us in so many ways, and just to make these videos possible for you guys to watch, thank them down in the comment section. Buy their stuff because it's the best, and we just appreciate them beyond words. And we appreciate y'all for liking and commenting and sharing and subscribing. All of that stuff makes a difference to us, and we are so grateful for each and every one of you. And we will see you on the next episode.